Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the DJ Force X podcast. And I have a very special guest this week. I have Lotta from the band Lunar Kills. Welcome, Lotta.
Thank you so much for having me. It's really great to be
Absolutely.
here.
Yeah, oh, absolutely my pleasure. Heard your music, had to have you on the show. That was like, what happened with this one. It was sent to me by the good people at Sharptone. We'll talk about the album in a minute, but I'm loving the album. The first track I heard from you guys was actually, I think, Slay Your Enemies or Sugar Rush, one of the two.
Yeah.
And that kind of got me like hooked. And then this whole album's great. But yeah, you've just released a couple of track or a track the other day as well. You released Leech off the album. And let's say the album's out on April the 4th. Like I say, via Sharptone. It is called Deathmatch. And yeah, it's like I say, it's fantastic album. I'm kind of a bit over at the moment. Because I want to talk more in depth in that in a bit. But what I would like to do is obviously get you talking a bit because I've been talking all this time. But I want to get some of the origins about the band because you've come out of nowhere for me. But you've got this complete kind of like full on debut album essentially. And yeah, I was just wondering where you guys kind of how you guys got together and everything.
Yeah. Well, we got together like in 2019.
Okay.
Me and the band's guitarist Samuli had been playing from like the other band projects for our like earlier time because we are actually cousins, so we never can be rid of each other.
Okay. Yep. No, fair.
Yeah. And then we formed Luna Kills, and yeah, we've been like playing shows in Finland mostly. We've done like couple like smaller tours abroad, but mostly in Finland and
Yeah.
released like singles. And yeah, and then we just made this album and now we're releasing it. But yeah,
Nice.
that's the short history of Luna
That's the
Kills.
short history. That's good. I like it.
Yeah.
Nice important bits, because you could get bogged down in the tiny bits, like where everyone was born and all that kind of stuff. But we're not going to go down that way. But yeah, no. How did the like relationship? How did Sharptone get in touch with you guys? Like, how did that work out? Because I've had a few of their bands on recently, all slightly different stories, but it's got the same sort of person within it. But yeah, how did the because obviously the difference between who I spoke to before and the ones you are obviously the different countries. So the other
Yeah.
two that I recently spoke to, one's Scotland, one was England. But yeah, how did Sharptone get in touch with you?
Well, we when we started recording the album, we also like forged new partnerships with new manager and everything, and we obviously started pitching for labels, and we actually pitched to Nuclear Blast, and they
Okay.
put us in contact with Nathan Phillips,
Yep.
and the ball started rolling from there. They actually came into Finland in last November to see our live show. And that was really nice because who wants to travel to Finland in November?
See, Nathan did.
Yeah, yeah, he did. And after the show, we just had the discussions, and yeah, basically, it's pretty standard way actually,
Yeah.
but
No,
yeah,
that's really cool. I
that's
mean,
how.
it's the same person has popped up three times now, Nathan,
Ah,
in this respect, and how he's traveled to different areas to watch the bands play outside of like London, the bubble of London, if you will. Obviously, with you guys, went all the way to Finland to see you guys, which is, obviously quite a testament to the music you had like presented to them before, for them to check out, and obviously it was enough for them to go, you know what, we're going to go over there and see what's
yeah,
going on. And yeah, Nathan is turning into a complete legend now. I said it was kind of like a cult legend before, but now after all these discussions, complete legend, like of finding bands like yourself, and signing them to a label that has, I mean, it's got quite the roster now,
yeah,
quite the bands on it, and obviously being sistered with Nuclear Blast, they kind of have that there with them as well for for the other side of it.
yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, Nathan Phillips or Nathan Barley Phillips, if he's whatever, however you want to call him. He's like I've said this on my other ones, but I kind of I don't know him, but I know of him.
Yeah,
I used to communicate with him years and years ago when he had another label. But what
yeah,
kind of progress up the ladder to Sharptone and everything like that is just fantastic, and the bands he's picking up at the moment. I'm not.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I have what I have seen and heard from Sharptone. All the bands are like different from each other, and they have like these unique characteristics,
Yes.
and it's really inspiring that certain type of bands get signed and get the platform to present their music in, and that's really inspiring. And I'm in complete agreement with you on Nathan.
Good, good. He's not got a gun to our heads. Don't worry. Um, um, but yeah, let's talk about the album. Again, it's called Deathmatch, everyone. It's out on April the 4th. Pre-order it now. It's going to be out on all platforms and everything like that. So there's probably bundles already on your website, and things like that available, or even Sharptone's website. But yeah, let's talk about the album because, like I say, you've already released 3 tracks from it.
Yeah.
Which is Slay Your Enemies, Sugar Rush, and you just released Leech as well. There are a couple of other tracks on there that I like really caught me. I mean, the whole album's great. But like I think it was Waves was one that kind
Yeah.
of like because I love my drum and bass.
Yeah.
No drum and bass, and it caught me like there. I was like, oh, what's this? This is good. So that kind of caught me there. But the track itself is amazing. Sadist as well, loving that track. Burn the World with Me as well, another one,
Yeah.
which is a great track. The last track as well, which I didn't write down. The final
Either
track.
him.
That's it, yeah, and like that kind of ends on like a almost an epic scale as well, which is just completes the album as a whole. But yeah, tell us more about the album itself. Like, what's the sort of, is there any kind of concept behind it? Was it literally just kind of like an amalgamation of your sort of previous like singles demos, or was it like was there a cohesive kind of idea behind it?
Well, all the songs in the album we wrote specifically with the album in mind.
Okay.
I don't say that there was like a bigger plan or like bigger concept we wrote on. We just like to like write nice songs and stuff that we would ourselves like to listen to, and just to keep this process like fun for us, we just write that type of songs. But yeah, there's lyrically there is a theme. This album really like talks about like depression and mental health
Yep.
issues
Yep.
mostly. So there's like heavier tracks with heavier messages, and it's all like studying on your own, like on my own personality and my own like struggles and everything, because writing helps me keep track of my own emotions and things I've gone through in life and everything. So this album is specifically really big on mental health issues and figuring them out and figuring your own emotions out. Yeah.
No, that's great. I mean, like, it's a big topic always when it comes to mental health and stuff, and being able to exercise it in such a way, you're obviously in that position to do so, and it's very good because you get like, obviously people can relate to it, or what's the better word? Not relate, but kind of like take their own kind of message from it
Mhm.
as well,
Yeah.
like what they're going through and stuff like that. And I always found that with music and myself, like like certain bands, albums, songs take me on journeys, or they remind me of a time, or they got me through certain times and stuff like that. So, and and now with more bands sort of taking that into their sort of songwriting, like there was a
Mm.
few bands that did it with the sort of like tackling mental health issues,
Yeah.
because there are so many, but and having um and being honest with it as well, like putting your perspective on it, which is brilliant because it gives people like avenues of different like lines of thought. Someone could be stuck in something, but they hear the way you kind of eloquently put it in your in your lyrics and stuff, and go, oh, actually that's helped me, and stuff like that. And it's like I applaud you for doing, for going down that route, and sort of having that, like being able to open up with that as well, because that's the other difficult part in you know
Yeah, yeah, and I think it's really important to discuss these topics because they still have this sort of stigma to them,
yeah.
and they're a little bit taboo. So I think it's really important to show some kind of support for everybody, that it is normal and it's okay to struggle with these sort of things. And the best thing is if somebody can take away like positive things from it, or feel like they're seen or heard. So that's great.
Yeah, exactly, and it certainly is a healthier way of doing it as well, like especially within music. Like there's a lot of like in the past when I've been involved in the music industry and stuff like that, there are people that kind of have let it eat them alive
Yeah.
inside. And like when I've gone through stuff when I was doing that sort of stuff, I was quite, I guess I wouldn't say destructive. I didn't like, well, no, I destroyed my equipment. Like when I was on stage, I'd like literally take it out on that.
Yeah.
Didn't take it out on anyone else. I just disappear after the show. But
Yeah.
obviously it worried some people. But
Yeah. I can see that.
but it's you know it like I that's how I kind of dealt with a lot of anger and stuff like that. Obviously my lyrics were there, but I don't know if it was enough. And then there was the sort of like the sort of throwing down of the microphone, destroying records, because I was a DJ in a metal band and stuff like that,
Yeah.
so I'd like be smashing my records and stuff like that, which is an expensive hobby.
Yeah,
um,
it is.
if you're doing that. But you know, and but now obviously I've grown older, wiser, and found the ways of dealing with, and actually quite happy at the moment, which is nice.
That's great to hear.
So, you know, but you know, going through it and being able to process it like properly, that's what really helps. And like
Yeah.
when artists like yourself tackle it, you know, present it in the way that you do, it's fantastic because it really does help. So yeah, applaud you for that. But anyone listening, I mean, if they go listen to these tracks, they're fantastic. um but even better, we could talk about this because this isn't going to come out until after the announcement, but you are coming to England, you are coming to the UK in May, I believe.
Yeah.
Yes, I was tipped by your people as to this. I know you have a date in London booked at the Black Heart in Camden,
Yes.
which is a fantastic venue. Especially, is it your first time playing in England?
Yeah, it is. It's
Yeah,
our first time there, so looking forward to that very much.
amazing. Amazing.
Yeah. And we
Yeah,
hope that we can get more dates
yes,
in the UK sometime soon.
yes, that's what I was waiting to see. Like, obviously, people can keep an eye on your website, your socials to see the updates. You do have gigs booked already, if that hasn't been fully released yet. Because this is, like I say, this is going to come out in a couple of weeks. Um, so it's fine for me to, apparently, it's fine for me to talk about it. So,
Yes, it is. Yeah.
but I saw the dates on your site at the moment, or the ones I got sent. You got a bunch coming up. You just had one in Netherlands back on the 14th. You got one on Valentine's Day, a festival, 6 Feet Underground Festival. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Then you got Z
Yeah.
Rock Festival on the Rocks, album release show out
Yeah.
on the Rocks in Helsinki. So if anyone wants to travel to Finland, this is great. Um,
Yeah. Yeah. We have a lots of Finnish shows there, so
yes, there's a lot of
welcome
cool shows
here.
there. So Helsinki, Olympia, uh, Kavala, Kuvala, is that
Kouvola.
Kouvola? See,
Kouvola.
this is Kouvola. This is where
Yes.
I go like really bad now. Pori,
Yeah, that's great. That's
Pori,
great. Pori.
uh, Ruma,
Rauma.
Rauma. Oh, very nice.
Oh,
Uh,
that's good.
the Mystic Festival in Poland.
Yeah.
And then you got Ulu at the Q Stock Festival. Is it
Oulu.
Oulu? So
Yeah.
getting there. And then you got the Helsinki Metal Festival as well
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
August. That's way out in
Yeah.
August. So you got plenty of shows coming up. Obviously, hitting the. Are you planning to hit the rest of Europe as well on this, like the provisional tour that we're talking about?
Yeah, we have dates in Germany and Netherlands and Belgium and Czech Republic, Austria and Prague.
Nice,
So
nice.
yeah.
So, any of my European listeners, please look it up. Please go see this band. They're fantastic. Uh, but I'm looking forward to seeing you. Hopefully, I should be at the London show because it's looking like I think 14th of May is a good. Yeah, I should be good around about then because it's a
Yeah.
bit warmer and getting into London can be a bit of a pain. But
Okay.
oh, it's all right. But if you're playing it obviously anywhere else in the UK, it's like South UK, if you will. But
Yeah.
I'll be looking at the dates. But I'm definitely going to try and make that show just purely because I am really enjoying this album. Like honestly, it's like it's shaping up so far to be one of my albums of the year. I know it's
Oh,
so
I'm so
early, it's
glad.
so early, but I'm like, I love the sort of like new metal vibe it has, the kind of industrial vibe it has, and with the electronic, like the dance music vibe it has as well, with like I mentioned with the bit of the D&B, but there's
Yeah.
other electronic bits woven in to that sound. But where do you guys like get your like, I guess inspiration from, or you know what influences you when it comes to writing this music? Because there's quite a few different styles I can hear in there. There's nothing really to pinpoint on certain bands, but you know, where do you sort of like, where's your musical kind of like origin, if you will?
Well, we listen to a lot of different music, that's for sure. We love to listen to all types of music. If it's a good song, it's a good song.
Yeah.
And we love like soundtrack music, and we're big gamers, so we love game soundtracks, especially Mick Gordon's work. It's really inspirational for us. Yeah,
That was amazing. That Doom album.
yeah. And Wolfenstein as
Yeah.
well. He's
Yes.
done amazing tracks in there as well. But yeah, all over, if we find something that inspires us, we are just going to like take the inspiration and write something out of it. So uh, electronic music has kind of a special place for us.
Okay.
We don't actually listen to it that much, but it's maybe because we don't. We've started with like rock music and like heavier metal music, and we never like dabbled into that genre.
Okay.
Took so much interest in it that it kind of like just came to be in our music, as well as like poppier melodies and everything. That we just really like a good big chorus and then like heavy bashing riffs.
Nice.
And if the song is good, the song is good, and then we make it and release it.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. Like I said, because like my one of my loves is when metal bands cross over with like I don't like calling it EDM, but
Yeah,
the electronic music community, like when bands collaborate with artists or bands come out that have that kind of fusion. So like bands like Pendulum, The Prodigy, like
yeah,
with the
yeah,
sort of like known classic bands, but there's a few others that throughout the years that I've picked up on because I had a specialist radio show that played that sort of style music, whether it was like bootleg remixes or it was actual bands working with electronic elements and stuff like that. And yeah, whenever they cross over, when bands come out with that sort of sound, I'm like, I immediately gravitate towards them because
yeah, and it brings like this energy to it. I think like in electronic music, it has like uh like the vibe is really energetic, and we love to make music that is for the most parts that you can dance to and you can like headbang to,
yeah,
and the electronic music has that kind of like party quality to it.
it does.
So when you add that to the heavier elements, it's just all around party for me.
No,
Personally.
same here. I mean, I DJ rock clubs over here in the UK, and
Yeah,
whenever I get the opportunity to mix dance music with the metal, like and the rock and stuff, I do it. Like whether it is those bands that I just talked about, or whether it is like I've found bootlegs of people
yeah,
making,
yeah,
or I've made my own. I've made my own in the past, like remixes and stuff like that, just to sort of like drop in certain areas and just keep that flow going, but keeping people dancing. And it's right, it's the
yeah,
energy, especially with like drum and bass. Like drum and bass is one of
yeah,
my loves and that kind of like big room drum and bass, the sort of like the sort of pendulum chase and status style, like the two-step kind of like big, just it's quite simplified, but it people just it easy to dance to, and it's just that tribal
yeah,
kind of like feeling to it. And yeah, no, it's just the DJ in me really, like just wanting to mix that music.
yeah,
But it just makes my life easier than trying to mix two ones that weren't ever recorded to a click track. It's
yeah.
a challenge, but you know, it's like constantly trying to do it can be a pain. But I shouldn't say because I love DJing. I love my
I
people.
can
It's fun. It's
tell.
great. It's great. But yeah, no, yeah. So obviously, like the album coming out with all that. So anyone, like I say, like anyone that's into that kind of sound, go listen to it. But I've got a couple of questions left for you, Lotta, if I may, and I'll let you get on with the rest of your evening. Um, but what I want to find out from you is your three most pivotal records. So when you were younger, you heard something, either your parents played it to you or your friend played it to you or something like that. You heard it on the radio that kind of made you want to be in music or made you want to be a singer in this case, or you know what band got you into like the heavier music? If you could
Only three, only three.
only three, and it can be an album or it can be just like a single track.
Well, I would say that the first album that really got me interested and excited to be a part of a band was probably Nirvana's Nevermind.
Okay,
I
nice.
was I was like in fifth or fourth grade when I found out about Nirvana, and I was really intrigued about like Kurt Cobain's lore and everything because he
Yeah.
had been long past when I found the music. and I just found his lyrics and everything super interesting. And then YouTube was then starting to be a thing, so I could watch like their older like live performances and everything.
Nice.
So I would say that that is the band and the album that got me really excited for rock music and everything. And but for singing wise, I would say that actually the album that got me interested in like making my vocals more versatile. And
Mm.
this is not a heavy album. This
Oh,
is
that's fine.
something different. Yeah. But it was actually Lana Del Rey's Ultraviolence,
Oh yeah, yeah.
because she has like super deep and low melodies and everything. So that was when I heard the songs from that album, and obviously some of from Born to Die, it got me really interested in make starting to learn like my lower registers and control the voice and everything. So that I think it was really pivotal in my like singing skills and
Yeah.
techniques and everything. And yeah, I don't know what got me into like heavier, maybe not heavier, but rock music for in general. I think Muse, Showbiz or Origin of Symmetry.
Yeah.
The Origin of Symmetry is one of my favorite albums ever. But I think they were so experimental when I first heard them compared to the music I was listening before I found Muse. So that probably sparked my interests really like towards making music and
Yeah.
towards like the experimentation
Yeah.
with pop music. And obviously I love Matt Bellamy's vocals.
Yes.
He has like insanely good vocals for me. Obviously that's up for a debate for most of the people,
Right.
because well, I know that you either love him or hate the
Yeah.
voice, but I love it.
Good.
And he has like a really good way of bringing the text and everything he sings to life for me. He
Yeah.
has interesting technique. Yeah, those are probably the three.
Nice. Nice. I mean, that's a good variation there as well. And it really does kind of explore the sound that you have as well in that respect. So you've got obviously Nirvana Nevermind is a classic. Like there's nothing I can
Yeah.
say about the album that's not already been said. Lana Del Rey's Ultraviolence, that's sort of like I think that's a modern classic in the way that it's structured, the way that it sounds like just the way that it comes across. It's kind of really kind of melancholy, but also
Yeah.
they say that deep, rich vocal and stuff like that, and the music is just yeah, yeah, obviously Muse as well. Muse, I've been a fan of theirs for as long as I can remember. I actually had a demo of theirs at some point.
Oh.
I wish I could find it. I used to like put on shows when I was younger, and when they were very, very, very early on, I got like this demo through from them or from their manager, whoever it was at the time,
Yeah.
before they blew up, obviously. But yeah, I wish I still had it. I can't find it, but it would have been a great little piece of lore right there. But yeah, Muse, like I say, throughout the years, Matt Bellamy's voice, yes, it can like great with some people, but I think it's great. And also that, like you say, their experimentation, I can definitely see that in your sound as well, like the way you kind of use those elements. Like he's always pushing, especially on the electronic side, and like all these
Yeah.
gizmos that you might have, and like the way they've got like it's like a chaos pad on a guitar and all that kind of stuff, and like just weird stuff like
Yeah.
that, and the glove that does all the stuff as well. Yeah, fantastic band, absolutely love it. Great three albums there. It's great to actually like, because a lot of people I get usually the same three, or there's usually the same one in each one, but that's three
Oh,
different albums right there that I've not had yet, which is fantastic.
oh, that's great.
It's great. That is great. I'm loving this. I'm loving this. But I've got one last question for you.
Yeah.
Then we can wrap this up. But what are your hobbies away from music? So when you're not doing anything with Lunar Kills, what do you do to kind of, you know, get away from it, or just sort of separate yourself from it?
Well, like I mentioned, we're big gamers, and that's something for me. To a point that my mom is probably a little bit worried that I don't do anything else than gaming and music. But yeah, I love video games, and they like really can take me away from the pressures of the working world or the
Yeah.
music stuff. So that's my number one hobby.
And what are you playing at the moment? Are you playing anything specific or?
Well, at the moment, I'm doing a rerun on Red Dead Redemption 2
Oh, cool.
and simultaneously playing as well The Last of Us 2, because the season 2 is coming up on HBO. Like, so I have to play it again. But yeah, those two games at the moment.
Nice. Excellent. Excellent. I'm a gamer myself. I've got like behind me here, or in front or behind the camera actually, there's just like
Yeah.
shelves full of games, like old games going back to I think the Mega Drive. I think I see there, NES, all those sort of old games. And obviously I've got the newer systems as well on a PC and all that kind of stuff. So I like to play. I'm working on, was it Space Marine 2 at the moment? I got given that for
Okay.
Christmas. So yeah, I'm working my way through that at the moment, and I occasionally dabble in like the drop and go games like COD and FIFA, just to sort of keep my reflexes up. But I really love the
Yeah.
story driven games. So but yeah, no, I mean, are you looking to get your music onto video games and stuff? Is that something you would love to have done, or have you already done that?
Yeah, that would be super cool.
Yeah.
And like if there's ever opportunity, we're gonna take that because that would be so cool. And we actually have our game in a mobile game, BeatStar. It's like a Guitar Hero version in your phone. And we have deep cuts there, so that's really cool. And also, it would be super cool to be featured like in, Counter-Strike matches or something like that, because we are huge Counter-Strike fans. We watch every tournament and everything, so that would be great. Or to perform in Counter-Strike events.
I
That
used
would
to
be
Counter-Strike many, many years ago. Man, like we're talking
cool.
25 years ago. And I'm glad it's
Now
still
it's time
around.
to pick it up again.
I know. I'm glad it's still around. I don't think I've quite got the reflexes for it, but we'll see. I might try and download that again. But no, that would be awesome. You get your stuff on video because I love like hearing bands on the video games. Like I've had a few bands on the shows that I've done that like do stuff for sync and stuff like that, and they have it on the video game adverts, or they actually have it like Skin Dread recently. They got it into a game. I think it was the NFL game actually, which is
Oh, those are big ones. Those are
yeah,
big.
obviously the FIFAs, the Need for Speed, like
Yeah.
burnouts, all that kind of stuff with the sort of gaming soundtracks. That would be awesome. But Luna, I'm sorry, not Luna. You're not Luna. Your band's Luna. Oh, I got so far without messing up. Lotta, um, thank you very much for your time. Good luck with everything Luna Kills. I could have called it Lotta Kills. Um, it's Luna Kills. The album Deathmatch. I should have known that from the gaming point of view.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
Deathmatch is out on 4th of April, everyone, on Sharptone Records. Go pre-order it now. Get it pre-saved on your streaming services as well. But buy the t-shirt, buy the vinyl, buy the CDs. I like to push the physical products because that's
Yes,
I do.
definitely.
But yes, no, everyone go. Obviously, anyone that's into like that kind of like high velocity industrial new metal-y vibes, big riffs, big beats, all that kind of stuff, but amazing vocals from Lotta right there. Uh, um, but yeah, everyone buy that album. And Lotta, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much for having me here. It was really nice chat.
No worries. Have a good rest of your evening, okay?
You too. You too.